Here we go. This is Haze-man. A very good Haze-man to you. And now that we're done with all the preliminaries, let's just get down to the nitty-gritty. This is how to draw a manga character full-bodied. Now I'm going to start off with here with a line of motion. What I'm doing here is I'm planning out the shot. I know I have a simple loose leaf paper here, and I want to fill up the whole frame with a character. So I'm going to draw a character leaping, which puts the head in one corner and the other foot in the far corner. That means I'm using up the entire frame to really get a good view of the character there. I'm also plotting out where all the limbs are going to go. So that's going to help me out later. What I'm doing here is I'm measuring out the proportions. You see, I have the head at about the right size. I know that the character is the right amount of heads tall for her given design. And I can also tell where the rib cage goes. Now, remember guys, women do have rib cages. It's important that we allot for those. And here I'm going out with the thighs there, making sure they're the right length. Same thing with the calves, arranging the feet. And then I go back up. I know where the shoulders end, so I can make the deltoids. That's the round part of the shoulder there. And now I have pretty much a well-proportioned guide of how to draw the character. Now normally I would just be doing that in pencil and just start drawing right over that. But so that it registers on video, I'm putting the marker version underneath another piece of paper. I can see it, but you probably can't see it too well from the camera there. And I'm just redoing it with ballpoint pen, so it'll pick up on the camera much easier. Now, as you can see, I see the proportions underneath the paper. I can follow them out and bring out, see, the costume, the waist. I already have the shape of the head in there. And coming around to the limbs, forearms, very good. Now you notice here, I know that no matter which direction the elbow is turning, it is always a set distance from the shoulder, and that distance is equal to that of the rib. So provided that the arm isn't going, far away from the camera or directly towards the camera, which would cause foreshortening, I can pretty much take a compass or estimate the radius of a compass there and determine where the elbow is going to be. From there I can just build a forearm and then build the wrist and hand on top of that. Now you notice I flare out the lines when I'm building the calves. I know where the knees are going to be because I'm following the rules of proportion. And I generally just go with a straight line for the shin and then flare out a line near the top for the calf. Now if you want to go and exactly examine how big the calf should be for the particular character, that's one thing you can do. I find that calves are really not that hard once you understand how the legs are constructed, how walking is constructed, and of course how to construct feet. But I'm saving that for its own holiday special, folks. Okay, here I am also building some basic ninja girl costume here. Now this is a very simple drawing manga video, so I'm going with some cliches here. I have some spiky hair. If I had a marker, I would color it in blue. Heh. I'm just going to build a face here very quickly. You've seen me build a face before, so this will be nothing new. Some creative bangs. Now, when I like to draw figures, I tend to use basically drawing pencils, which come in a variety of darknesses. That is to say, how much graphite is left on the page. They go from extremely light and easy to erase to very dense and hard to erase, almost like using a charcoal pencil. I won't go into the exact way in which the hardness of a drawing pencil is measured, but let's just say I like to use HB style or 2B style pencils. I find that those work the best because they're the easiest to see, and yet they can be erased after you ink your drawing, which is another show. You see, building feet is its own science within itself, but the basics of it say that I form a ball where the above the ankle. That's not necessarily to construct the foot, that's to space out the width of the leg itself. I have a width up at the calf, and I create another width above the ankle, and then I simply connect two lines to them, and then shattering then shadows are done afterward, and all of those sorts of tricks to give it fullness and thickness. Same thing is done with wrists. I create one ball at the end of the forearm because I know where the elbow is, and then I put another sphere at the wrist for no other reason than just to space out how the rest of the forearm goes. So once you have a ball at the elbow, ball at the wrist, you can pretty much draw two lines and you've got your forearm. On top of the wrist, you can then go about building the hand, which I could go on for hours about how to build hands, but later. I'm just filling in the costume a bit, using some simple cross-hatchings. Now, in terms of basic graphic arts, going back to the days before we had, full digital grays available for printing, there was many techniques to fill in the gaps. See, originally it was basically either all black or all white, so you kind of had to cheat the system. One thing you can do is you do a halftone, which is a series of parallel lines, and that's still often used today in various types of printing. And then on the other side of a halftone is a cross-hatching. It's where you have horizontal and vertical lines that cross each other and make kind of, a thatched wicker chair kind of pattern, what have you. And that also fills an area. It doesn't make it gray, it makes it look gray from a distance. Now what I'm using here is a simple Sharpie to simulate what you would do with, say, a ink and brush. And there you go.